Did you know that internal candidates have 6 times higher chance of getting employed than external candidates? In fact, most companies even advertise jobs that are already earmarked for internal candidates. They are using them to try and compare internal versus external candidates. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi and I'm back with a brand new video. Today's video is focusing on how to nail your internal jobs and make sure that you actually get that promotion that you've been looking for. Whether you're looking for a job to move internally or for a promotion, this video is here to actually guide you in what are the steps to take and how do you prepare to make sure that you actually get that opportunity. Understanding the importance of internal interviews. Meet Tshidi, for example. He's been working for this company for the last 5 years and he's actually ready for the next opportunity. So what does he do? He goes ahead and applies for this next job. However, the same job that he's actually been told about gets advertised externally to the external market. He casually approaches this interview and then unfortunately at the end he's told he's not ready for that opportunity. Guess what we would have learned from that? Number one is emphasizing or treating internal roles as if it's an external role. One of the mistakes that candidates tend to make is that they forget that even if you're looking at an internal role, there are instances where there are other internal candidates that might have done that exact job but not necessarily having the same title as what you're actually looking for that might apply for that. So number one, you're already competing with some of your other peers. So being casual about the opportunity as it comes unfortunately can backfire. Number two, in most cases, as I mentioned in the intro, is that some companies advertise jobs that are already earmarked for internal candidates because they would like to compare. And remember, external candidates do as much research as possible to make sure that they get that opportunity. Now imagine if you've been working for 5 years for a company to get that promotion only for it to be snatched away because you took it too casual. Number two, if you're looking at going into another role or getting for a promotion, go into LinkedIn Learning, because one of the things that you've got in LinkedIn Learning is the opportunity to look at what does that job really do. You can go into some of those videos, watch what they say the individuals that are playing or performing that responsibility are doing in that particular role. Upskill yourself so that when you get to that interview, you're very ready. Number two, check out my YouTube page. I've got so many insights as to how you can actually get ready for final job interview assessments and all those things. So if you haven't checked that out, please don't forget to actually go check it and like some of my videos that I've got. Number three is looking at Glassdoor, the views and the reviews of some of the employees that already are working or have worked for that particular company. Some of them might even speak about what that role was all about and some of the challenges that they might have had. So please make sure that you actually do that. Number four, don't forget to go look at the performance of that particular department. Speak to people internally that are actually in that team or people that might have played that role. If you know somebody that actually was in that role, might have been promoted, organize a coffee chat. Understand as much as you can to make sure that you know exactly what you're putting yourself through. One of the mistakes that candidates tend to make is casually going into that interview thinking, you know what, I've got this. My manager's already told me in the past that I will actually get this. And then they've got a second round interview with another person that says he's not ready or she's not ready. Unfortunately, you lose out because you thought that you actually had it. So use some of these resources and tools to make sure that you're ready for them. It is very important to actually continue doing the same research that you think you would have done even if that opportunity was external. It's very important that you also come up with opportunities where if they ask you to say, what are some of the things that you will change? You can at least speak about those without saying, sorry, I don't know what I would change. I think things are okay the same way they are. Remember that people that might be coming from external might have seen some of those things. So if you are internal, you have the opportunity to actually speak to people that are playing the same type of role, people that are already in senior roles, people that are already in that particular team to understand as much as you can. So research is extremely important in this scenario. Number three, aligning your experiences with the new role. Let's take me, for example. Let's say I'm in talent acquisition and I want to go into IT. One of the things that I'll actually do is talk about some of the responsibilities that you have to do as a talent acquisition specialist. Those being, for example, you need to make sure that you project manage, you plan, and some of those things. If you know that the responsibilities are going to require you to do a bit of project management and a bit of planning, so you make sure that when you get into that interview, you speak about those things so that people are aware that you can already project manage and you can plan. The other thing, as I mentioned, is LinkedIn Learning can also help you understand what are some of the skills that you might still have to work on, because one of the questions that they might ask you is to say what makes you think that you're ready for this job interview, and you need to be able to actually answer exactly what you think you'll be able to add to that particular role that you'll be taking over. Number four, practice your pitch. One of the mistakes that people tend to make is they tend to think it's an internal job, what are we talking about? Like I said, if you do know some people that actually played that role are doing that job in another department, it might be an opportunity for you to actually ask them to interview you so you can actually do a mock interview. Now, mock interviews are very helpful because they help you with the nerves. They help you figure out the story that you're going to tell, as well as align some of the things that you might want to highlight. The mistake that you would make is to not actually do a mock interview. And once you've done a mock interview, seek feedback from whoever is actually sitting across you and ask them what they think about your pitch, and ask them what they think about your interview, and ask them for constructive feedback as to some of the things that you can actually highlight to make sure that you're ready for that job interview. Internally, you've got enough resources and you've got enough people that you might know internally that will definitely be willing to assist you in that next opportunity. The last thing when it comes to practicing your pitch is making sure that you actually put together a list of some of your achievements. One of the questions that you are most likely to be asked is, what have you achieved since you have actually joined this company? So you need to be ready to actually highlight exactly some of your achievements throughout that particular role. Number 5, you will receive this question: why do you want to change roles now? Why this job? Even though you're internal, you can be as diplomatic as possible. Even if you know that your current line manager is not giving you opportunities to grow and you're looking at another role, being diplomatic is one of the best things that will work for you, because you don't know what the relationship between your manager and that individual that interview you is. So it's very advisable that if somebody asks you, why do you want to change this role now? You speak about the new challenges that you might be seeking. You speak about some of the things that you know from your mock interviews and from the conversations that you've actually had with some of the people that you know are very important for this person to actually do. You speak about the challenges that you are aware of that the department has got and some of the things that you want to add to that particular department. So it's very important that you actually are prepared for that question that says, why do you want to change jobs now? And be as diplomatic as possible. I cannot stress this enough. Please, guys, you can never ever speak badly about anybody or anything that you've actually done in the past. And please avoid gossip talk when it comes to this conversation. The last thing, guys, is a personalized message to whoever the hiring manager is. Even if you know that person and you've known them for a long time, have a personalized message that you send to them to thank them for the opportunity, and make sure that you highlight specific things that were key takeaways for you, because it's very important that you remind them about some of the things that you thought were very important for you when it comes to this discussion. So a final message back to the hiring manager, or a final message back to whoever the panel was, to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and highlighting some of the key takeaways that you've had are extremely important when it comes to this. Now finally, remember Tshidi's story about the opportunity to actually get that job and he took it too lightly. When you get to the next job interview, guys, that is internal, make sure that you take it as seriously as if you take another external job. Because in most cases, as I mentioned, companies advertise jobs for external people to also be competing with you. Top of the morning once again. See you in the next video. Peace.